Hey, this is Noodle Tavares from Automated Marketer, and today we are doing a complete build out of both automations for your course and for your membership area so you can get everything completely automated and launch your course in this coming year. You're going to want to make sure you stay tuned because there's going to be a lot of details involved. We're not going to leave any stone uncovered, and more importantly, we're going to show you completely from scratch how to do this. So make sure you stay tuned and build along with us. All right, so there's going to be a lot of steps involved in what we're going to be doing today because we are going to build this completely from scratch so you get a full picture of what's going on. But a couple of problems that are currently existing out there right now. One, a lot of people keep complaining of getting blank passwords and things not being fulfilled automatically when somebody buys one of their courses. So today we're going to show you how to do that. The second thing that we're going to also focus on is automations that are going to make your job easier. So you're focusing less on customer service and really focusing more on creation and creating even more courses. And the last part that we're going to also do is make sure that you understand that all of your courses can be made into a mobile app. And we're going to cover that shortly as the last part. So you're going to want to make sure you stay tuned through the entire video because this is all going to be very detailed. And since we're starting from scratch, you're going to be able to see everything that we do to make these things work. So please make sure that you're following along, you're actually building along with us so you can kind of see how everything works and gets put together. If you skip along to other parts, what's going to happen is you're going to miss probably a critical part that's needed towards the end. So you got to make sure you follow this video exactly all the way through. We're also going to give you the ability of the exact snapshot that we're buying here, obviously with a little bit more involved. We're going to give you the ability of buying that. So if you're going to click on the link below, you'll be able to buy this and use it for yourself or for your customers. So either way, you can build along with us here, or you can just download the snapshot that we're offering as a purchase item. So let's get started. The way I normally build automations for anything that I do is I usually start with pipelines and opportunities because pipelines and opportunities are basically going to give me like the format or the layout of the way I want my automations to work. So whenever I build something, I always build with opportunities and pipelines first. Like that, I have a little bit of a map of what I'm going to design and how my automations are going to create. Because the thing about automation that you have to understand is it all works on the domino effect, meaning the first domino gets pushed, whether it be somebody fill out a form, pays for your course, writes an email, answers an email, responds to a text message. That's always a starting domino, and it pushes the other dominoes or the other actions to get you to do other things inside the system that can be automated. So if I go over to my left-hand side, I'm going to click on opportunities and I'm going to go right to this screen here. Now I'm going to go over to pipelines, going to create it again from scratch, and I'm going to create a new pipeline, right? Now this is going to be Nuno's awesome course. You're going to build it to say whatever it is for your course name. All right. And again, we're building this from exact scratch. The first thing I'm going to do is if I'm going to sell a course, I usually like to have an abandoned cart sequence. An abandoned cart sequence is just a sequence to remind people that had somehow started the checkout process but never finished. So I'm going to come over here. Abandoned cart will be the first thing. The second thing they're going to do is they're going to purchase the actual course, purchase course, and we're going to put the Nuno's awesome course, or you can just put purchase and abandoned cart, whatever is easier for you. You can say purchase. All right. The next thing is going to do, I want to know when they first logged in, user logged in. And then the last is I at least want to see if they can complete like the third module or the first module. But for now, I'm just going to complete the first and I'm going to complete the third. Like that, I know that it's happening. And then I also want to track if there's any kind of refunds, just so then I can see everything that's going on. Very simple, nothing too crazy. Let me just change this to first user login because these are all things you can track, believe it or not, inside of HighLevel. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Well, before I actually launch the course and I create all of my automations, I need a product and I need the course. And I want to make sure that I fully understand this process because it can get very, very confusing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a special login or a special domain for my membership area because I want it to be a little bit different than my normal like login to my CRM or my SaaS or whatever it is, right? So I'm going to come over here. I personally have Cloudflare. So I'm going to go to Cloudflare. All right. And I'm going to go to my DNS records. Now I'm going to pause right here. Wherever you have your domain, whether it be GoDaddy, Namecheap, SiteGround, any of these places, all you're going to do is add one record. I'm going to show you exactly how this works. I'm going to go into my GoHighLevel account. Remember, all I did so far was create my Nuno's awesome course pipeline. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my membership area on the left-hand side. I'm going to go to courses and I'm going to go to settings. And inside settings, I'm going to go over to custom domains because I want a personalized custom domain whenever somebody logs into my membership area. So I'm actually going to put members dot, and I'm using automatedmarketer.co has the actual placeholder or the domain that I'm using. Now I'm actually using automatedmarketers.co, so I'm going to do members.automatedmarketers.co. And it gives you the directions right here of what you need to do. So it says, please make sure to have either a record pointing to this or a CNAME pointing to this. No problem. So that's what we're going to do. So again, in your domain registrar, or wherever you're putting records for your domain, you're just going to add one record. If you're adding more than one record, you're definitely doing something wrong. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to prefer to do a CNAME, okay? And I'm just going to copy the first part, which is members, okay? The target is going to be this preview. Now, if I use a CNAME, I got to use this bottom one. If I'm using an A record, I'm going to use this record. So because I'm using that, I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to drop it right in here, and I'm going to take the orange proxy. This is only available in Cloudflare. If you're using GoDaddy or Namecheap, all you're going to make sure you have to do is pretty much put in the name and the target, all right? And then, which is provided here. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm going to give it like a few minutes because it does sometimes take a little while for this thing to capture. I'm going to hit save. Awesome. And I know that this is done because I got a green check mark and custom domain is created. Now that that's created, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create my product. My product is going to be my course. Now, this can get a little confusing because a lot of people are getting challenged and not understanding that the membership area inside of HighLevel is very different than like every part else in HighLevel. It's almost like its own little sub world that exists out there. Now, when you're doing a product inside of HighLevel memberships, just understand that product really means courses, because it's not to be confused with payments and products, which is how you get paid inside of Stripe and everything else when you create that inside the payments and products area. So it's very, very confusing. Inside of your memberships under courses, when you click on products, and make believe that this says courses instead of products, because it's going to become very confusing otherwise. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to create a product. I'm going to build my own. And my product is going to be called Nuno's Awesome. I'm going to create my product right here. Like everything else, it's going to have products and categories. So the way that this works, it's category. Think of it as your category for your lesson, and then your lessons follow afterwards. So my first category would be my welcome. All right. I would go ahead and put a little description of what the welcome is, but obviously it's a welcome. It's not a big deal. I always want to make sure I'm filling in my categories, or else you're going to have these odd looking non-existent thumbnails. So what you're going to want to do is select an image. You can upload a new file. You can choose a file. For instance, I'm just going to pick different things in here. I'm going to upload that. And now that's my course thumbnail for that particular category. But also understand that now if I create this category and it's welcome, I'm going to create my first lesson, which is join our Facebook group. If I have a video, I can upload a new video file, and it could be a welcome message from me. I'm just going to go ahead. While it's uploading, I'm going to pause this video, but I'm going to upload a file just so you see how the video looks, and I'm going to add a thumbnail. Now, I'll do this for my whole entire course. And remember, this is not really going over like your course format, but you're going to want to make sure that you do it in a way that makes sense, right? The whole point is getting you guys up and running so you fully understand how this works. Now, I'm going to let this upload. All right, so my video has been fully uploaded. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select another thumbnail. And again, you can design these on Canva. Again, not going to do a full course on that, but we'll just put my partner Andy up here just so you guys can see it. So now I would write whatever it is, welcome, give them a link to my Facebook group here. And again, I would just keep on adding to my course. And the whole point of it is that you can just keep on going. You can add files on the right-hand side, audio, PDFs, whatever you need to do. And then you would just save and just keep going at it. Make sure it's published. And I'm going to hit save again. Now that I have, let's just say this and a couple lessons, I'm going to add like 17 more lessons, 10 more, 5 more. Doesn't really honestly matter. And I'm not going to go into the whole detailing and stylizing of that. We'll make another video on that. This is again, just to get you the core so you can get this out and about, because obviously all that takes a little bit of time, right? So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make sure that this is all set to go. Now that I have Nuno's Awesome course, right? I have this in here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure that for every course that I create, I need an offer. So an offer, just think of it as like how it bundles in order for you to sell it. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hit and create an offer. All right. The offer is going to be Nuno's Awesome course. We're going to say 2 because I've already created another test one in there. I'm going to select the Nuno's Awesome course. This is going to be a one-time $199. All right. And I'm not going to have any test override, and I'm going to go ahead and create. Now I created this, I created the offer. And again, I probably want to put a little thumbnail to the offer. So again, I'm just going to choose the first thumbnail that I have. So obviously, you know that you're going to have to create a couple thumbnails in order for this thing to work. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And now I have my course, I have my price, and notice that I have draft or published. One of the biggest mistakes we see that a lot of people make is when they're designing the course, they don't publish the course. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now my course is created. So I have Nuno's Awesome Course 2. It's $199. I have my product, again, which in here in the membership area is called a course. All right, you just got to remember that it can get a little confusing. Now that this is said and done, because I plan on selling this in a funnel, I have to create the payments and the products in another area, which is going to be the payments and products area. Now, in order for me to sell my actual course, I need to make sure that I have Stripe integrated. So if you don't have Stripe integrated, you're going to go to integrations and you're going to start that process. Literally, it's going to have you create an account if you haven't created it already, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll. But I'm going to go back into payments area. I'm going to go back into products because now I have to create the product in Stripe in order for me to sell it. Now, because I created it already inside my membership area in that little product area, it also created it in here, which is a nuance that didn't happen before. So because I created it in there, it actually came out to being here. So we're ready to rock and roll. This is good to go. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is create an actual funnel page that would have all this. Now, we pre-created one because, again, I don't want this to be a full design course, but mostly I want to make sure that you guys understand that you would create this like a funnel of any sort. Usually it's a sales page, an order form page, and a thank you page. If you kind of look at the screen, I go under sites, I go under funnels, I create a new funnel, and I start building these pages out. Sales page, order form, thank you. That's the most basic you can possibly do. This is the one we're currently using now. And honestly, it's that simple. And this is kind of what it would look like. You would talk a little bit about your product, do a little bit of a video, create some different things that we have that are going on in here. And this is basically our course, a bunch of bonuses and things that we have. And then we have the order form where they actually place the order. I'm going to go ahead and add the products onto this page, which is Nuno's Awesome Course. I'm going to come over here. Nuno's Awesome Course 2. I have the price already selected. I'm going to say Nuno's Awesome Course for the product name, all right? And that's what I wanted to show. I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and then it would automatically go to a thank you page after the fact. I need to make sure that I add my product to the page that the order form is going to be on. This is a critical step that a lot of people tend to miss, and I want to make sure you don't miss that. Whenever you're creating a product and you're doing a full funnel, sales page, order form, thank you. If you decide to put the order form on the sales page, which is perfectly normal, just make sure you're putting the product on the sales page versus putting the product over inside of the other pages, right? You need to make sure that if you're planning on selling a product, that it exists on the same page as the order form page, right? Now that I have a sales page, I have an order form, thank you, I am ready to start my automations. But I kind of just want to recap what we did. We created a membership area. We created a unique domain for my membership area. We created a course. We created an offer for the course. And then we went into payments and products. And because we created the product already inside the course area, we had a payment and product there. Then we went over here and we created the course funnel, which was a sales page, an order form, and a thank you. And we just need to make sure that those are active, because what we're going to do is when we create the automations, we're going to do it based off on that. And I'm going to go over the automations bit by bit so you fully understand. But again, there's quite a few parts still involved. We're going to create all automations for all the steps that we created in our opportunity and pipeline. Then the last step, I'm going to show you how to make your actual membership area into a mobile app that you can easily put on your phone as an icon. That's a really cool feature, completely free with HighLevel, and I'm going to make sure you guys take advantage of it. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start our automations. So if anybody's ever been following along our videos, we're big on numbering. So I'm going to number this 00, and I'm going to do, let's put 00 dot Nuno's Awesome Course, and I'm going to hit create. Now, the way I usually like to do it though, I go in and I make a separate tab, and I don't know if you noticed what I just did because you can't see, it's a little hard to see. So let me just kind of bring this down a little bit. I'm going to come over here, and I usually like to duplicate the tab that I'm in, because when I duplicate the tab, I don't have to log in again. It just brings all that log information over, and I can use 2 tabs when I'm working in. I don't recommend opening up a lot of tabs, but just the tabs you need. So what I always like to do is on the opportunities, have the pipeline up. So then I know what steps I'm doing when I'm creating my actual automations for this. So here is my Nuno's Awesome Course pipeline. I'm going to go ahead and leave that up. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is create an abandoned cart sequence. So I'm going to come over here in Nuno's Awesome Course right here, okay? And I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to create my first workflow. Now, an abandoned cart, the way it works is people are going to start on a 2-step order form, and this only works on a 2-step order form. And what's going to happen is to go ahead and start their process and then just not finish the purchase. You know, got distracted. Then they have the credit card information. They thought they were going to get it to later, and they just forgot. And usually I like to do anywhere from 2 to 3 emails. Again, completely optional, even if you want to do an abandoned cart, but just know that it's applicable and it works pretty well. It's usually a 30% conversion. That's kind of the genuine number that's out there that people say that does help with abandoned cart. So I'm going to enable this. Since this is Nuno's course, I'm going to do NC for Nuno's course. I'm going to do a 01. I'm going to type in abandoned cart. And the way abandoned carts work is they have a pretty funny trigger. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here into settings, and I'm only going to allow for no re-entry. All right. And I'm going to mark as red because I don't want this thing showing up on my feed, on my conversations feed. Okay. Now that the way that the two-step order form works is I'm going to go ahead and hit on my new trigger. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in order form submitted. And again, this only works when you have a two-step order form. So I'm going to come over here, add filter. In funnel, I have to select the funnel. Mine was course template. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go page is. It's going to be the order form because it's exactly where I have the product sitting in. And remember, you can only have a product really sitting in on the page that has the order form. And then I'm going to come over here, pages order form, submission type, because I only want to do the opt-in, meaning I only want the first part. The first part of a two-step order form is the personal information of the client. So I'm going to go ahead and hit opt-in. I'm going to wait an hour because if they purchased, I want to make sure that I check to see whether or not they purchased. I'm going to wait 1 hour here. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Let's just put in the label over here, 1 hour. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to hit the little plus sign and I'm going to write my first email. Well, before my first email, I'm actually going to do create an opportunity. I'm going to create the opportunity in Nuno's awesome course, and I'm going to select the abandoned cart. I'm also going to put my contact name and the email of the person that did it, so I fully know it's there, and the status of this is open because I have not won anything just yet. And I'm going to go ahead and save. Always be saving on the top right-hand side because sometimes, things will happen with the software and you're going to want to make sure that, you don't lose anything that you've been working on. All right. So just get a habit of saving often. Just trust me on this. A lot of lost work that I've had over the years because I haven't done that. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is send my first email. All right. And this is going to be user first name, user email, which is going to be me. And I'm going to sign myself in before this. I should have done that beforehand. All right. And then we're going to do, got something. All right. And we are at a stage where you can literally chat GTP this, get some AI to write this for you. Very simple. And what I always do in abandoned cart is I always link to go back to the course. Now, because I haven't done that, I'm going to show you how to create a trigger link. So then you can create this link and use it pretty much everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All right. And this is going to be email number 1. And we're going to correct 2 things real quick. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here. And right after that hour wait, I also want to make sure I assign to a user. Assign to a user, I'm going to assign it to myself, or we'll just say user test number 2. But the reason why we assign somebody is because if you're using regular emails in here, on your user signature, you can put your unsubscribe link, which, in 2024 is a super huge requirement. And if you haven't watched my getting ready for 2024 email video, you're going to want to make sure you catch that, because if you don't have an unsubscribe in there, your email is pretty much likely going to go to spam. All right. So I'm going to do a trigger link real quick, because in my trigger link, I want to create a trigger link that automatically sends them to the order form page, which is where they can go ahead and finish their purchase. So I'm going to hit save action. I'm going to hit save here again. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go over to marketing. And in marketing, I'm going to go to trigger links and create a link. Here, I can create a bunch of links that I can keep pulling in as custom values. So then I don't have to remember the link all the time, right? Now, I have the order form page right here. So you see order form page, but let me show you how to create one. You're going to come over here, order form link. All right. And then this will be like the link to the order form, right? This is not real, but we would put like HTTPS, / your link here. And then you would put it there and hit save. Now, what's cool about it is because I added it here, I now can pull that as a custom value inside my emails. So I'm going to go back over to my automations. All right, let's go back again. This is why we number. It's easy to find things and see everything's here because I already saved. And what I'm going to do is in that email number 1, watch this. This is pretty cool. I can come over here and highlight those words, click on the chain link. And now from a link list, I can go to my order form page. And it still says complete your purchase, but now it's in a trigger link. And I can even do a little bit of an email that if somebody clicks that trigger link, that I can mark it down, I can tag it, I can do whatever I want. But either way, it's pretty cool, and it's just a different way to do it. And you notice at the end, I use the custom values user signature because I will have an unsubscribe link in my user signature. And let me tell you what I mean by that. So again, I'm going to save in here because now I added that trigger link there. But let me tell you, when you assign a user and your user is assigned to a particular, let's say, contact that comes in, that's what we're doing when we hit assign user. I can use the user name and user signature. Settings, and let's go to my staff. And here is where we have the teams, right? Inside of here, let's see that user test 2. I can go to there, and on here I could go user test as my name, user test2 at test.com as my email that people can see. All right, so here I can save a signature. I can put my unsubscribe link in here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now if I go back to my automations, right, inside my automations right here, when I use the username, it's going to pull my first name. And when I use that user email, it's going to pull my user email. Then at the bottom, if I decide to use the user email signature, it's going to pull that little signature directly in here. And I'll put my unsubscribe link in there eventually. Like I could just have it all in there. So then I'm completely compliant. Everything's good. And if I want to personalize it and make it to somebody, I'm going to do custom values because I've collected their first name so far, comma. Now I got a really solid email. This is email reminder number 1. Now, most people like to wait 3 hours. Some people like to wait a full day. In this case, we're going to wait a full day. All right. And we're going to do email number 2. Come over here. I can actually copy this email. Boom. Let's make sure we label this waited 1 day so then we know exactly how long the wait is. Come over here, email number 2. Boom. Part 2, whatever you want to write here. And it follows the same exact thing and you're always leading them back to your purchase. Sometimes you might want to offer them a coupon discount. Honestly, it's up to you. But the whole point of it is the automations are in here. And you're set to go. The abandoned cart is done. Now we're going to create the next one, which is the purchase automation. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to select from scratch, right? Again, we want to use the same naming convention. Again, yours might be slightly different. NC02, purchased, and then you can use the initials, purchased NC. All right, completely up to you how you want to do it. Now you have 2 options here. You have order form submission and you have order submitted. If you do order form submission, it's going to be very specific to that funnel. Now, if you're planning on having this product on multiple funnels and you want to have the same kind of introduction and the same welcome email and all of that, then you would do order submitted because you really honestly don't care where it's sold. You just want to make sure they run through this and they get the access and they get the welcome email. If this particular funnel has a particular way that you want emails to sound, or it's regarding a certain brand, or you want to do something, you do order form submission. I'm going to show you both and we're going to decide with one, right? So if I decide to do it globally where I don't care where this thing sells, but as long as it sells, I want to make sure they go through this automation. I'm going to hit order submitted, add a filter, global product is, and then I'm going to come over here, Nuno's Awesome Course 2. All right. And I'm just going to label global, and global just means exactly what it means. Like I'll be able to sell this in any funnel, in any order form, anything, as long as it's inside the system, it will take credit if it has this connected to it. Global order. Okay. That's one way to start the domino. Remember, starting the starting trigger to activate the purchase of the product, or I could do order form submission. So if I do order form submission, remember, it's very specific to each funnel. And that means that for every funnel that I would create going forward, and I'm planning on selling this product, I would have to ensure that I follow the steps of wherever the form is. And I'm going to show you what I mean. When it comes to order form submission, it's funnel first, then page, then product. All right. That's how it usually works. So the way that I do it is I come in here, order form submission, and it's funnel. I select the funnel, which is the course template. The page is wherever the order form is, because remember, that's where my product lives. So order form page, and then the product is going to be my product, Nuno's Awesome Course. Now, a lot of people like to do submission type sale. Completely up to you. It's not required, but you can do it if you want. We're just going to leave it like this. Now, I have a choice here to make. I either will go with my order form submission, or I'm going to go global product, because I'm probably planning on doing different funnels to see if I can get these to convert. I'm going to go with the global order instead, because I'm going to probably have multiple funnels selling this same exact product with different ways in. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this order form submission and use the global product instead. Now that that's done, I'm going to do the first thing, which is super important, is remove from another workflow, which is I got to get them out of the NC01, which is the abandoned cart, because I don't want them to keep getting abandoned cart emails. And this action name is remove them from workflow, abandoned, or AC for short, abandoned cart. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm going to update the opportunity, right? Because now I have officially won. So this works. So I'm going to go to Nuno's Awesome Course. Select the pipeline. It's now a purchase. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ahead and do contact and email, and then the lead value now, because I have a value to it, it's $199, right? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ahead and mark this as 1. Now I have how much the lead brought me in, and I have it officially as the 1 status. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All right. And we're just going to put this as 1. Again, I like to label everything. I'm going to go 1. Okay. Now I'm going to send them a nice little welcome email. Hey, like welcome, you can go bananas. You can send them welcome, a text message. You can do both. And I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks of the way I like to do it. So I'm going to come in here. User, again, first name, user email, just like we did the other one. Subject to welcome to, all right, I already have a preset email. Boom, come in here, and I'm going to notice again the same thing. Customer's first name. I do tell them that the membership username and password is going to come in a separate email. That's a lot of the things that people get confused. You can't do a membership email on the same one that you're basically granting them the course. You have to do it on a separate one, and I'm going to walk you through that. All right, so this is all said and done. We're ready to go here, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit save action. All right, I'm going to hit save again, and I'm going to label this welcome email. Okay, just so we know exactly what it is. And then I'll take a little portion of this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little text message too. SMS, drop that in there, and we let them know that the email is coming in a separate email. This is, again, an SMS welcome. You can even go as far, if you have their phone number, you can even do a voicemail drop, record a little message for them, do a voicemail drop, and just upload a file of your voice going, hey, I wanted to thank you again for purchasing whatever your course name is. This is Nuno. I'm really wishing you the best success. If you have any questions, please always respond to our text message or emails, and we'll make sure that one of our representatives gets back to you as soon as possible. Something like that, right? So you can go ahead and do that. I obviously don't have it recorded, but it's something you would want to do. And then I'll come in here and I'll do another little plus, because now I want to make sure I tag them as, a course purchase, right? So I'll do purchase, and it would be whatever the course name is, right? I go ahead and save that. And I also add a tag of customer. Two very important things that you want to start labeling yourself. So this is now a customer. And if you want to be super fancy, again, always label what you have. So this will be customer and then purchase. Okay, you got both of them in there. And then here in the email, again, just make sure, again, I just want to be super neat with you guys so you guys see this. So it's just all being tracked, right? And then the next thing you could do is you can even add a note. So you can add to notes, and you could do purchased, and you can see the course name, whatever it is. All right, hit save action. And again, just label it course purchase. And the reason I like to do notes is because it takes the date and the time, and it puts it on the notes of when somebody actually purchased the course. And then I'm going to do a nice little plus sign here. And then the most important part is I'm going to grant them the offer to the course. Now, this does not automatically send it unless you have that option enabled. And I'm going to give you the pros and cons of why we don't use HighLevel's automated one, because we found a lot of problems with it, and I'll explain the reasons why. All right, this is going to be Nuno's awesome course. This grants them the offer of NC, which is Nuno's awesome course. All right. And now I can hit save, and I have my full purchase automation. Now, when it comes to delivering the password for any course inside of HighLevel, I need to make sure you understand, because this is a common problem that we see with a lot of people that build courses, with the emails and passwords not being sent out. A couple things. One, the membership area is a membership area in whole, meaning that if you have other courses, people already have access to the membership area, and all he did was grant them access to the new course that they have. So what we have found is that if somebody already has been granted the offer to the membership area, it no longer delivers the username and password. So we have to create a workaround around that. Now, what you could do is just send a welcome email that says, if you're already a member and you do not receive a username and password, you already are a member of the course. You can put that in the first welcome email and leave everything the way it is. We prefer not to do that. We prefer to actually create membership automations that will trigger if the person is a new person to the membership area or an old customer that now purchased something else. So we'll say a returning customer or a current customer that's in your membership area, and it just sends them an email saying, hey, you already have a username and password. If you've forgotten your password, just reset it here. And that's the way we kind of normally have it. So that's something I would recommend for you guys. We're going to show you how to build that out. It's a little complicated, but trust me, it's going to solve a lot of the blank password issues that a lot of people have. All right, so now that we created the purchase automation, all that, let me go over these membership automations and the settings that you need to make sure you're aware of. If you just want HighLevel to send the automations itself, go to memberships, go to courses, go to settings, and inside of settings, you're going to notice email settings. Now, email settings is you allow them to send a welcome email, automatically send a welcome email with someone who completes the offer checkout, automatically send an email when offer access is provided to a member. Now, I can tell you that this is where most people have a problem, because it doesn't send the email password and you don't have the ability of keeping the email password. So you have to always reset it, which creates a little bit of a nightmare for customer service. So we actually turn these two off and we do our own. Now, if you want to leave these two on and you want to customize the welcome template, that's fine too. What you can do is you go to marketing, you're going to go to emails, you're going to go to templates. Inside of email templates, you're going to go to new and you're going to go to email marketing templates. In here, you go to system templates and you're going to notice that right over here, membership welcome email, you can modify this one. All right, it's going to add the template, and then I'm going to show you what it has and why you can go ahead and just put in your logo, change in the thing, put in all this, whatever you need. Just again, if you're noticing a lot of password blank issues, that means that somebody was already a member and they're not getting the password. Again, this is why we're going to build our own out from scratch. I'm going to walk you through it. It's not that hard. It's just a little complicated. If you just want to leave it as is, just leave those two settings. I, again, am choosing not to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to memberships. I'm going to go to courses. I'm going to go to settings, and I'm going to do my own. So I'm going to do the email settings. I'm going to turn these two off. All right. And then I'm going to go to my automations. I'm going to go to Nuno's Awesome Course. And what we're going to do is we're going to do NC. All right. And just follow me along. And we just ask that you trust us on this. It just works. We actually did this with a high-level developer, so we know it works. And we've been doing it for years. So NC03, this is going to be new member. This is somebody that's never been in your account. New membership, NC, okay? And this starts with membership, new sign up, add a filter, offer is your course. Meaning when you grant it on the purchase automation, this thing is going to fire, all right? When that fires, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of a temp tag. And we don't really care how you name this, but you need to make sure you have it at the beginning, at the end, and we're going to show you why. So we're going to say new member temp tag, okay? I'm going to add that tag, and I'm just going to put new member. This is going to be temp tag, all right? Because the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 3 minutes. I want to tell you why. We're going to do wait. We're going to do 3 minutes. Save action. Come in here. We're going to deliver the username and password, right? So I'm going to come over here. And this is the common language that we use. I'm just going to share this with you guys. All right. You come over here and it's, hey, contact first name. Again, custom value, right? Custom value, contact first name. Important. Save this email for later. Here are your login details. Username. It's always going to be the contact email. Password, right? I'm going to come over here for password. When you do a new membership sign up trigger, you will have access to password and username. So if you go into custom values, I'm going to highlight this right here. I would write out username, then password, right? Username is contact email. It's custom value, contact email. This one for the password is custom values, membership contact, password. And it automatically puts in the password, all right? Super simple to do. Again, membership, custom values, membership, password. And this is the only time you're going to get the password for the customer. Then it's membership login because I created my own custom. I would put my custom URL in here. And then just a little saying, if you want to repeat this, just watch this on slow-mo or take a screenshot right here. If you are seeing a blank space where your username and password are supposed to be, this means that you already have an account with us. Please go into the membership login URL and log in with your existing credentials. And again, here's my user email signature. Please make sure you save this information and bookmark this page for easy access. Any future courses you will buy will use the same credentials. So I'm telling them this whole thing now. Now, here is your login credentials as a subject line. All right. And I'm going to just say email login info. Okay. Now, another cool thing that I've learned over time is I also send this in an SMS because people will forget this. And the only thing I do is I get rid of all the signatures because you don't need that in the text. And I try to make the text message a little smaller. Boom. Just like that. And I send in a text message because if they don't get it by email, they'll get it by that. So they'll always have it no matter what. Login info. Okay. And on top of that, I add a note. I add a note because the note is also going to have their username and password. So I take this whole thing and I just copy and paste it 3 times. One is for the note, one is for the email, one is for the SMS. And then what I do is I remove that temp tag. And I'm telling you why that temp tag is important, right? Now, remember, this is not something that was given to me. We had to create this from scratch. So I hit save action. And then now I have the new membership NC. I'm going to always make sure I mark this as red. And I don't allow for re-entry because they're only going to go through this once, right? So now that this is done, I'm going to create my current member. This is for somebody that already has a membership with me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create, start from scratch, NC04, okay? And in here, I'm going to do current member login info, okay? And instead of starting a new membership sign up, I'm going to do an offer granted. because they were just granted the offer. They're not a new member. They were just granted an offer to other parts of my membership area. So I'm going to come over here, offer, Nuno's awesome course. All right. And here's the important part. Instead of waiting the 3 minutes, I only wait 1 minute because what I wanted to do is I wanted to check whether or not they have this temp tag. And if they have this new temp tag, then what I want to do is I'm going to wait 1 minute here. If they have it, they see that the person already has it, then I don't want to send this one out. I want the other one to go out. If that new membership one didn't fire, this waits 1 minute, checks to see if there's a temp tag. And if that one doesn't fire, this one will. I know it sounds super confusing. This is a corny ass workaround, but honestly, it just works. And it's been working for years. We've been using it for the last 3 years. We have almost absolutely no problem with blank passwords because it's either you're going to get the one email because you're a new member or you're going to get this email because you're a current member. All right. So I make this wait 1 minute and then I check for that temp tag. If else, right? Temp tag, new member, temp tag. Okay. No temp tag. Okay. Come in here, custom values. Oh, not custom values. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. Contact details, tag does not include temp, new member temp tag that I created in the other one. And if it doesn't, then it waits an additional 3 minutes and it sends a different email, but it sends an email nonetheless. It comes in here and this is email. Again, same thing, right? Because you already have the user assigned in the other ones. So first name, come in here, user, email, user, we'll just say your login details. This one reads much different. Well, not much different, just slightly different, but it's enough to understand. Hey, it seems that you already have access to our members area. Save this email for later. Username, membership login. For your password, just use the current one. If you've forgotten it, please use the password reset button on the main login. Some people have even included a screenshot of the main login screen just to make it super easy, all right? Please make sure you save this information, bookmark this page for easy access. Any future courses will buy you will use the same credentials. And again, this is the email, login. And again, just to not be repetitive, but I now can come over here, do an SMS too. Boom. Now it drops it in, get rid of the signature. Boom. Now they can't say they didn't get it by text or email because they got it in both. And you collect an email because you need a phone number in order to process a credit card. At least we always collect credit cards when it comes to a course purchase. Now that that's said and done, I've handled my membership. They're getting the username and passwords and everything else. Now I want to know when the user first logs in because what's the point of me creating a course? I want to know if they're logging in. It's just going to be super important for me, right? So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start from scratch. And then this is going to be NC05, first user login. All right. And then you come over here. If you scroll down, I'm going to show you there is an array of, look at all this. Look at all the membership. You have all of these different things you can use when a product is started, when the product is completed, when the user first logs in, when the product access is granted. You have all these things that you can track as people are doing whatever they need to do. I'm going to do user login. On the filtered, I want to make sure there's no filters, you see, so there's nothing else I can track. I just want to see when the user first logs in. That's it. And I only want this running in one time. And there's nothing. They're just honestly, all they're going to do is move into a pipeline. So I'm going to go to pipeline, opportunity, actually. Come in here, select the opportunity, which is Nuno's awesome course. First user login. I'm going to track the name, email, whatever you want to do. All right. We're not going to change the status. The status is already one, but I just want to see move them across. All right. This is going to be user login. Okay. And then if I notice that they stayed on the purchase, but they never moved to first user login, I kind of just want to call them up and check in on them. Hey, I saw that you bought the course. Any reason why you're not going through it? Is there anything that you were planning on seeing that you didn't see, or why haven't you logged in? I mean, you can really engage your customers. The more people go through your course, believe me, the more they'll buy from you going forward. So it's just something you might want to do. Now, I also want to see when they complete their first category, or let's say the third category. So I'm going to come over here, start from scratch. Boom, NC06 actually, okay? And it's going to be first category complete. All right, I can come over here. Remember those membership? If I go into that down there, there is category started, category completed. I want to at least make sure that they finish in my Nuno's awesome course is any of, not any of, it's Nuno's awesome course. All right, and the category is the welcome. All right, so I'm going to hit save, save again. And then in that opportunity pane, boom, Nuno's awesome course, select the slides, completed the first, right? Boom, hit save trigger. Now I'm ready to rock and roll. Now, as this goes through, I completely updated this, right? This is going to be the first. Let me just label this as first, because I'm planning on doing more. And then from here, I'm going to add a little email. Hey, man, congratulations. All right, so come over here, user, full name, user email, congrats on completing, you're welcome, something like that, right? Or category 1 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Come over here, forget the spelling, all right? Part of the course. And then you can go ahead and hit save action and just go through it. And then you can duplicate this for as many, maybe you want to do the first, the third, the fifth. So for instance, this is the first category. I'm going to duplicate this, all right? This is going to be 7. All right, and it's going to be third part complete. All right, and then I'm going to come over here, and all I would do was just change the category. So instead of this category, maybe it's this one. All right, save, and then update this to completed the third. Boom, email. Wow, so impressed, can't believe you completed it. You're amazing, whatever you want to write, right? Now, if somebody requests a refund or, they're in with that 30, maybe you're offering a 30-day refund, you want to track that, right? So if you create a refund form, like simple requests, right? They're like, if anybody requests a refund, they have to do it through a form. I don't make it easy for them. And I also need to understand the reason why. And it has to be a valid reason. So go ahead and start a forms from scratch. Again, this is how simple things are nowadays. Like, things are not hard. All right, I've already collected their consent, so I don't need to do a consent again. I'm going to come over here and custom field, just add a custom field, multi-line. And I'm going kind of quick because we've covered forms and fields in other videos. Again, not a full course in this, so refund, reason. All right, additional info, hit save, drag that question over as soon as it appears. All right, make that required, make all these required. Okay, and then hit save. You can even say email and phone number you purchased with. Email you purchased with. Because a lot of people will not give you the right one. Phone number you purchased with. Because then you can't process it or you can't find it. It'll create a duplicate contact, and you want to make sure you avoid that. Now I come over here, I go to my automations. Inside my automations, I'm going to come over here, go to courses. Oh, not courses, sorry. Go to our Nuno's Awesome course, come in here, create another workflow. Super easy. This is going to be NC08 refund request. All right, they complete out the form. Form submitted. Add a filter, form is, type in the word refund. Maybe you're like, no refunds, that's okay too. I don't think I saved the refund. Well, we're going to make sure that whatever, we'll just say that's a test form for now. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. You would say that would be a refund form, right? So we're just going to label this refund form. Okay. Most people just approve, but immediately, no matter what, you would update your opportunity. Come in here, Nuno's Awesome course, refunds, put in the person's name. Now we want to remove the access. So revoke membership offer, Nuno's Awesome course. We want to send an email notifying everybody, right? Like select the user. This will be the particular user. This will be whoever you assign to do refunds. And a refund, contact, first name. All right. And then you put the details of the refund, the reasons why. You can add that all in there. Hit save action. And then from here, you now have your refund request, right? And then you would like remove the contact tag, which is a customer. You're going to do the purchase, whatever the purchase that you have. You remove the tags. And then you just can keep going down this. So that's basically it for the automations. So we are almost complete. The only last thing, and it's super really cool if you really want to go out of your way to give your user an awesome experience, is creating a phone app from your membership. And it's incredibly simple. There's just some key things that you have to do. And if you want to see how this works, I'll actually link on the video where I actually show the cell phone of me doing this live. So it's a 5-minute video, but I'm going to link it as the next video. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into memberships. You're going to go to courses. You're going to go to settings. Inside of settings, you're going to go to app settings. And in here, you would give the name of your course or you, and this could be Nuno's courses. All right. Short name will be NC. Description would be whatever it is. And it gives you the size dimensions 5x12. And it's going to be an icon. You want it to be an icon, not like a thumbnail on this one or 192. So anything with Canva. So we have a gear symbol for what we do. For instance, I'll just use this one because it's more of an icon. I'd upload that, and that's what will actually show on your app. When the first time that people try to log in and they do it from their cell phone, it's going to ask them, would you like to save this icon? When they save this icon on Apple, it will automatically become something they can hit. And then you also have the ability of creating a color palette, so your course will look like this. Again, if you want to see what this looks like, go into our other video that's located right after this, but this is all it literally takes. And then once you have this all complete, the last and final step is put enable PWA and hit save. And then any course that you create in here going forward will be off this mobile app. And if they have it already on their phone, all they have to do is click on it and they'll have access to everything, which is a really cool feature that nobody takes advantage of. We think it's super awesome, but hopefully this helps. So just a recap of what we've done. We created a pipeline that we fulfilled. We created a membership area. We created a custom membership domain. We created a course. From the course, we created a product. The product went into our payments and products area. And then we created like about 8 automations to fully deliver your course. And then we actually enabled your membership. So then you will get membership emails and it'll solve the blank password issue. And then on top of it, we enabled the progressive web app, which will help create a little mobile app for your course. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, but we literally did everything from scratch. And we hope you're able to get your course out. And remember, if this is too long and you just want the easy way, remember, you can buy this course at any point in time by clicking the link below and you'll get access to this course. And we added a whole bunch of other bonuses on top of it too. So hope this helps and we'll see you on the next one.